Did you want to dry your mouth out? Did you want to get something going on now?
I am just going to try to speak properly today. I already
Oh.
forgot, clearly.
No, I'm worried about my mouth being too wet. Thanks, Mari.
I've never considered it until I had to listen to myself just now. And it's really strange to hear, because before, normally, like, you might record something and then you'll play it back and then you kind of think about it. But just now, I'm still talking to you in the same method that I was being recorded, and I could hear myself, and then I would hear myself speak, and then I would hear myself again, then I would talk again. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't sound like me, but I know it's me, but I'm frustrated as me. Like, hearing myself talk right now, like, I don't dislike that.
Did you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, I guess. Hello, everyone. I'm Mari.
What do you do?
Oh, I work at the courthouse. I work at a courthouse in Maryland. I don't know. I don't really define myself by being a clerk. I define myself by being me.
Okay, and what are you?
I don't know. Actually, you know what? Recently, I started thinking about this because not that I really. Okay, so I was mostly because I was just having a conversation recently, but on like dating sites, you're supposed to write about yourself, and not like I'm trying to be on a dating site. I was just discussing the broad things about it, I guess. And I really should like discuss yourself and write things about yourself, and I don't really know that the things that I would want someone to like about me or like think were interesting about me are things I could necessarily write down. I was like, how would you even, I don't know how to describe myself in words. I don't. So.
Do you want me to try?
Sure. Yes, actually, yes. And this is being recorded, so I very much want to see what you have to say.
You are a 30-something-year-old lady who works at a courthouse and has lots of opinions about things like religion, politics, and in general how people should behave.
So that's what you think of me?
Yeah. I mean, at a very generic and general sort of perspective, then yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, but outside of like the my like work life and my like general like Bureau of Statistics things, like my age, you just think of me as an opinionated person? That's it?
Well, I mean, in context to anybody who's listening. But I guess in more specifics to our relationship, then you are a friend. You are somebody who I met when I was looking for roommates, and you thought my house was shady at first, and you did not come. And then you came back at a later date when you needed an apartment. I mean, a room.
Well, the first time it was mostly laziness. Like, I thought I already found something better, which turned out to be a disaster.
That's right.
It was just laziness. It wasn't like because you were shady. Actually, when I first walked up, you were working on a bike, and I remember thinking, this guy's pretty cool. And I hadn't even started talking to you yet. But it was because you were working on a bike, and it was upside down, I think, was what really struck me. It reminded me of being a kid. Yeah, I know.
So I looked kid-like to you?
No, the bike looked kid-like, and I thought it was cool you were working on bikes. Of course, I didn't like talk to you as like a friend for a long time, but still, I remember thinking that was a plus. Like, things like that shouldn't matter, but I remember thinking that was cool. I was like, this house is alright. I mean, this guy's working on bikes, this girl's wearing A's outfits, this isn't bad. And that was it. You didn't seem like a racist, so that came off really well.
Oh yeah, that was important because you were dating a black guy, so if I were a racist, this could be a concern.
And really, if you reacted at all, like, I mean, not that we've been like, oh, it's definitely a racist, but like, you didn't like react, like, you didn't seem to care. You're just so laid back, which is really how your personality is in general. So, yeah, I feel like it was really telling. Okay, well, you should introduce yourself now.
I'm Derick. I'm a systems administrator who used to be a network technician, but at this point, I am an aspiring podcaster, writer, and instructional video creator. Basically, I'm just kind of dabbling in a lot of things right now because I'm bored with my job, and trying to get better and more certifications in the tech industry feels like a rat race, and it's boring, and I'm not a hard enough core techie to really thrive in that environment. Does that sound right? Or does that sound like somebody who fits my description?
Things make more sense now. I was kind of wondering why you kept trying these little side projects. I was like, maybe you need to make some money, but now you being bored makes a lot more sense. So, because you never really seem like you're strapped, but you do seem like you could use some stimulation when it comes to your job. You know what I kind of like about when we listen to the Hello Internet? Not like we together, but like just anyone listening ever. And like sometimes you'll hear like birds chirping in the background. I just love that.
You like the background noise?
Yeah, because like I think Gray doesn't like it, but Brady says he does like it and he should keep it. And Gray does keep it when he does the editing. I just like it. I think it's cute because Gray does come off so robotically, and they have like birds coming through his window, just like it's such a funny juxtaposition to me. It always makes me laugh. I feel like there's lightning outside. It keeps freaking me out because there's no rain.
Oh yeah, it's all sunny out now. That's weird.
Oh no, it's very not sunny here. Oh no, can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Was that the lightning storm?
That's the nature sounds. Well, I can't see lightning that close. I guess it's pretty far away. That took a while. I do like Spotify, except for I'm going to have one complaint before I get into what I actually use it for. I don't like how I have to have it open as an app on my phone for it to play songs.
What do you mean open?
Like, I like to clear all my apps off my phone, like off of active use. And when I had just playing my music app, I could do that and it would still keep playing. But this, for some reason, if I accidentally swipe it closed, and even on accident, it just stops playing. And I'm like, why? And I'll be all into a song.
I want to create an analogy for you. It's like you bought your mom a stereo. And she's like, I like it, but I hate the fact that every time I go in my living room and unplug every power source, it turns off. And I wish it wouldn't do that because I like having everything unplugged.
No,
that is exactly the same.
No. For example, Pocket Cast, which is what I'm using right now for my podcasts. If I could do the same thing and it will keep playing.
I don't know, but you don't need to clear your apps out every time you want to do anything on your phone. Like you can just leave them. It'll close out the apps when they get when it becomes too much. It clears it out for you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do that. Whoa. You are a iPhone boy. Okay. You have only had an Android phone for what was it like? Did you last 3 weeks?
It was almost 4 weeks, actually.
Oh man. So you didn't even last a month with an Android, and you're telling me how my phone operates? Yeah, are you telling me that's how it goes?
I am, in much the same way that I showed you that you could change out your keyboard and a multitude of other things that you were not aware of.
You know, I'm still very unsatisfied with my keyboard. Google Keyboard has to satisfy me.
Well, every keyboard sucks when you've got a screen protector on.
No, it's not even the problem now. This is like good at guessing words. But now, okay, it's so hard to describe. I wish I could just show it to you. But I've also changed settings. I'm trying to fix it. At some point, my phone, like most phones, when you're swiping or typing, it makes suggestions in the top bar of your keyboard, right? Right? Okay, yes. So that's normal and desired. Sometimes it doesn't have good suggestions, which is what I've been having, since I've had Android, but at least with suggesting stuff. But one day, my phone also would start suggesting other words in this weird drop-down menu that would also be right over the middle word of the suggestions in the suggestion bar.
There's an easy fix for that. All you got to do is go to the Google Play Store, install every keyboard available, try each one out for 3 to 4 hours, write a personal review, and then find the perfect combination using Google's computer algorithms, then throw your phone in the pavement and go buy an iPhone.
That seems like a lot of work. You just asked me to do at least 30 or 40 hours of just typing and configuring on my phone. Mm-hmm. You are steering me the wrong way, I feel like.
And then I told you to throw it on the ground.
Throwing it on the ground would be pretty satisfying. I do intend to do that when I get a new phone. Actually, you know what? I can't even do that because if my other phone breaks, it's nice to have a phone that works and isn't destroyed. See responsibility. Oh. See, I think I just talked to you the other day about how I don't break my own stuff. Whenever I'm mad, I just want to throw your stupid phone. But then you look at it and you're like, man, you're an expensive item. I read stories sometimes where people do stupid crap, throw things out of windows or they'll just break things. And I'm like, are you serious? If you got a new phone, you just set up that phone now. That alone keeps me from wanting to break anything ever. For being early 30s, I feel like I should be more knowledgeable. When it comes to phones though, I'm just God, it's just I don't even know what I'm comparing.
Well, what's important to you?
I don't know. I want to be able to not be frustrated when I'm using it. I want to be able to put pretty pictures in the background.
You sound like an iPhone user. I don't know why you have Android.
I like widgets. Do you have widgets?
Yeah, we do. They're in the widget notification bar, which is separate from the desktop.
Is that like on the drop-down menu?
It is, yeah. You swipe down from the top of the screen, and there you may have widgets, but nowhere else.
What kind of widgets can you have?
I'm trying to think. I don't actually use them very much. Mostly, I have a Todoist widget, a calendar widget. Weather is kind of integrated as a little sentence. It'll be like, it's 84 degrees today, and it's going to rain in the afternoon.
That's cute.
And your first appointment is at 2 p.m. at this location.
For real? That is really cute. Okay. So I like that. Because all I really have on my phone is a bunch of random apps that I use frequently. And then I have a weather widget, which has 3 days of weather displayed on it.
That was probably the best widget that I liked on Android, was being able to see the weather in the background. But then I realized I really didn't need to see the weather 85 times, because that's about the number of times I would unlock my phone.
Maybe when it comes time, I will be buying an iPhone, and then you can have your day.
The glee that I will take from you switching over to an iPhone will last about 30 seconds, so you don't have to make the change on my account, that's for sure.
Well, I won't be, because I don't do anything unless I discover it somehow, which is so not a quality that I think is great, but it is something I know about myself, and at least there's that.
Would you say that it's a bad quality?
Yes and no. Because sometimes I won't do things I'm supposed to do when someone tells me to, like something that would be a good idea to do, but until like it occurs to me naturally in my own way, kind of like, you know how Inception is, like you can't just tell someone to do something, they have to like figure it out for themselves. Sometimes I like it because it means like when I'm actually going to do something, like I know I'm really going to do it, but I can't just seem to turn that on, which is really great, I guess, actually.
I think we call that learning by bashing your head into a wall to learn that it hurts.
I've done that a bunch of times. Not literally bashed my head into the wall, but definitely done dumb things and like maybe didn't learn enough from it. I don't know.
What things are you talking about?
Like adult things. I don't really have any specific things. I just know this is how I've felt for a while. You know, that's something else I've thought about too. I'm like, man, we're gonna have to talk about stuff, and I'm gonna have to like think about things now. This is why I want those show notes, because then I can think about things ahead of time and really get myself together.
It's the show notes are they're not a guide. Like they're notes of what actually happened.
So I shouldn't be calling it show notes. I should be calling it
discussion topics,
production notes. But like, you know, if we're gonna talk about like, oh God, for some reason socialism comes to mind, mostly because that seems to be the debate I'm always having with people for some reason. But every time I have like, we enjoy debating, I guess, and like socialism always seems to come up somehow. But I never have enough good examples, or I've never even like spent enough time I never care enough, I guess, to look into it ahead of time. But then when I'm in it, I'm like, man, I wish I just looked up some basic statistics or some basic stuff so I could actually contribute to a conversation.
Yeah, to make it a lively and interesting debate.
Yes! Do you not want our discussions to be lively and interesting?
I do. And
I need a little
help.
There.
I know. Well, I'm letting you have the soapbox for right now because that's the polite thing.
I feel like I could just talk for a long time and really say nothing, so maybe you should go ahead.
No, that's what the cutting tool is for. I can just take that out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
This is why Hello Internet and all those two guys talking podcasts can be really good, because it's curated conversation. And in this case, I can also interrupt you and then just cut it out later.
Oh, my God. That's why I really like this double track thing. Because that way, it'll sound like I'm not saying a bunch of nonsense for an entire hour. Okay, good. Okay, so there's this Led Zeppelin concert DVD, and I liked it way better than the regular album version, and I couldn't find the DVD version anywhere. Like, they didn't sell it. So, me being, like, you know, the little, like, aspiring pirate that I was, even though I really didn't do a lot of stealing. I didn't know what a torrent was or used it until, like, much later in life. Like, I was definitely not... I used Napster, but come on. Anyway, so I downloaded Audacity and something else, and I ripped the video off.
Sounds pretty intense. I'm surprised you were capable of all this.
I fashioned myself as technologically capable. I am old. How old are you again? Like 29?
I am.
For some reason, I was thinking you're older than that, but you're not. I didn't even start looking at like Reddit and stuff later, and even then, not that much until like, I don't know, like a year or two ago. And I still don't know how to use, like, I use, like, a Windows phone and, like, all, like, different stuff. Like, different apps. Like, I didn't know what they were.
It's not that bad. I don't know how to use Snapchat, and every time I do, Amanda, like, has to, like, take the phone away from me, because invariably I hit something, and then it stops or kills the video, because everything does that in that fucking app.
I'm glad you brought this up, Derick. Because I would like you to explain to me, what is the appeal of Snapchat?
The fact that it's not forever, that's the idea. It lets people kind of express themselves in more interesting and fluid ways by knowing that it's not going to be saved on the internet for eternity.
Okay, that's true. But the thing that, even before, like, I think people started, like, knowing you could save those pictures, like, I always considered it's not hard to take a screenshot. Is it anti-screenshot?
When you take a snapshot, the app will recognize that because it's, glued into your phone. It knows everything that's going on with your keystrokes. And it alerts the other person. So it's kind of like taboo, sort of like putting, words in all caps or something.
Okay, so if you guys send me something and I'm like, I think that picture of Sooty is really cute, and then I screenshot it, you guys will know, or whoever's sending me you will know. Okay.
And if I send a dick pic and you do the same thing, then then I get a notification. That you.
If you ever do that, I'm certainly gonna screenshot it, just so you know, because there is no level of our friendship where dick pics are cool. Unless you're unless someone like bit you on your dick and you're like, look at this spider bite, like that's.
Does this look infected?
That would be. Yeah. I mean, that would be in the realm of okayness, I think. I feel like otherwise, like that would just be inappropriate. But if like you're like dying or you have like necrosis, like that would be interesting.
So you want to see rotting dicks, but not healthy ones.
I'm just not sure if sharing dicks between friends is a good idea. Like, should I be sending you like a vag picture? And you could just, like, identify me that way somehow? Like, that would be necessary? I don't want my friends to start sending me dick pics. I don't think that's a good precedent to set.
I don't think this is a real concern.
I don't think it isn't a real concern, because I know you wouldn't bring it up otherwise.
I mean, that was the original, I think, appeal for it, is that you could easily send nudes and they wouldn't capture it as easily.
I trust no one that way. I would never send a naked picture over the internet, over the phone. I feel like you have to be reckless,
young,
or really, really trusting of someone. Oh my god, because anyone can do anything, and now things last forever. Like, I actually did do some rather risque things when I was like 16, and then I realized like my ex-boyfriend had those photographs, and he still does. Like, I don't know, I hope he threw them away, but I bet he didn't. Like,
No. Naked pictures are collected by men as, like, not quite trophies, but, like, memorabilia.
For real?
Like, you wouldn't throw away your first concert tickets or something like that has meaning.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that guys keep, like, any given guy, if I ask him, he'll have a collection of photographs of his past conquests?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a conquest. I mean, anybody who... for the longest time, this girl in high school sent me pictures of herself that she thought were, like, artistic nudes.
For real?
Yeah, she ended up sending them to, like, several guys. And the funny thing was, I ended up working with one of those guys, and he mentioned that girl, and he's like, do you remember her? And I was like, yeah. And then I immediately thought of those pictures, and I started to say something like, did she ever send? And he was like, yes. Yes, she did.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, no, I held on to those for years. I might still have them somewhere, but they're not, like, on my walls or anything. I actually have an addendum to that, too, because this applies to all forms of pornography, as far as I know. Like, every guy will, I mean, probably women, too, will keep a collection of, like, their favorite porn, but before you could find millions of pictures on the internet, you weren't really that selective, so 11-year-old boys or kids around that age kind of had like this natural phenomenon that would happen to them where they would find nudie magazines in the woods, and you would just keep those forever. Like, they didn't even have to be good magazines. They could be nasty, and they could be like physically dirty, and you hold on to them somewhere forever. So I think I had a Hustler in one of my like boxes in my closet.
Poor boys.
For maybe like 15 years or something, and I didn't look at it. Like, it wasn't that good. But I just held on to it for the longest time. So.
Did you find it in the woods?
Yeah, no. Actually, no. This one was actually found in a hotel room.
Oh, that's like a jackpot.
Another one. Yeah, that was weird. It was like, on the Bible or something.
Oh, that was probably on purpose. They're like, here's some porn, kid. Or adult, like whoever finds it. That was very nice of them.
It was, especially since it was an all-boys room while we were all traveling across country, and the oldest kid was my oldest brother, and I think he was like 15.
You know what's weird about that is like I think back in the day, like if you found that magazine, you know other people have used that physical object. I don't know. I guess there's tapes and stuff too, but like you know what I'm saying? Like before you had like this is a thing you could hold in your hand that you use, and now it's like just on the computer, anything you can access it anywhere. Like that never concerned anyone though. Like you're finding magazines in the fucking woods, Derek. I feel like that was also back in the time when like people would stare at scrambled porn channels. And now like I feel like kids now would have no idea. You, my friend, were born in an era where you actually are able to remember this. Like you are of a very like a dying breed, really. We're some of the last people who remember things like that.
You know what the funny thing is? I think the modern equivalent to that is like a 12-year-old boy who can only find porn sites where everything's in 240p, and he's like, God damn it.
Or only thumbnails or something. Oh man, that would never even happen though. We're talking about kids not being able to do stuff, but I feel like they know how to do way more things than we do.
Oh, no, I never said that. They absolutely know how to do more.
Well, maybe I'm just inferring that. God, I feel like I'm going to be rapidly an old person. That even talking about it makes me feel really old.
I mean, don't you remember what it was like to talk to somebody a few years older than you back when you were 18 or 19?
Yeah.
Like, anybody over 21 seemed like a senior citizen, or at least like a middle-aged person.
This is something I think about regularly, about how like the relative feel of age shifts. And especially now that like my brother and their friends have like children, sometimes when like we're all hanging out, I just look at them and I'm like, holy shit, that used to be me. And I used to be looking at the adults and being like, I don't know, like they were of this entirely different realm. Like you could never understand them. They're like these other things. Like the adult world was like a world you couldn't even access and you probably would never even join. Like, but the child world, like that's why you like other kids. Like, but adults, like they can never understand you. I don't know. It's so weird to think like I'm that adult now and I'm going to be like Aunt Mari to people.
As you should, like at your age now.
Old lady that I am, yeah.
You are 1 year younger than my mom was when she had me, and I was number 5. So yeah, you could have like a whole stock of kids right now if you wanted.
I still could totally have a whole stock of kids. I'm like 31. I am still of breeding age. I even look young too, so I could trick somebody.
You do. I think a lot of people. Do you still get ID'd?
Well, considering I haven't been drinking that often, I do, but like I don't know if it's like they just have to do it.
Do drug dealers ID people?
No, I don't care.
Like, wouldn't it be like a greater offense if you sold to somebody under 21 or 18 at least?
Yeah, but I think at that point it's just like they look at you, but like, you know what? I don't think I look younger than 21, do I?
No, probably not.
I consistently get you look younger, or they are amazed. But I usually get between the age of like 21 and 28. Sometimes people guess me around my actual age, and which surprises me. But I'm actually a little disappointed when they get it correct, because the people so consistently get it way younger. You know, it shouldn't, but it definitely does.
So it bothers you that you're starting to look your age.
Yeah, I don't want to look my age because I feel like I have gotten away with not looking my age for so long. Like, I don't even know what looking your age really means. So when someone gets it right, I'm always like, oh, God. Am I, like, wrinkling? Like, I know I have a wrinkle.
No, it means your skin gets rougher.
Well, it's not good, because look at older people, you're just like, wow, you look nothing like you did in your prime. Like, I never thought about that kind of stuff, but that's, like, a thing that's happening. Especially now that everyone has kids and stuff, like, it's like, oh my God. And we're old for having kids, too, so it just makes me think about things differently, I guess. Plus, I'm just older. I think you do that anyway. I'm not a little kid anymore, Derek.
You're not.
You don't think like you have graduated in the way you think about stuff?
Oh, I mean, I absolutely have. Looking back at my old writing is the perfect indicator of that. But mostly, I also feel like I'm just at the age now where I'm most comfortable. Like, I think between now and like 45 is going to be my prime. I will actually enjoy looking and feeling this age up until like maybe 50 or so, and that's fair. Like, some people freak out over 40. I don't anticipate that.
I think I'll be aware that my life is more than half over. Like, unless I live to be really long, which statistically I'm not going to, just like for like, I think it was 77 or 78. I actually don't know what the age is, but something like that. And then, but also like my dad, my father has heart disease in his family, so it's like a potential that something could happen at some point before 77. So I'm not expecting to live to like 95 or 100. So by the time I hit 40, that's like definitely or more than likely going to be more than half of my life. and you can't do things as easily.
Well, yeah, if you let yourself go to shit.
Lifting weights is supposed to be the thing that like keeps your body young. It's not even cardio. Like as much as I like running or liked running, weightlifting is supposed to like it puts stress in your bones, so it makes them stronger. It obviously like makes your muscles more defined and like gives your body better composition. But apparently it's like it's linked with all kinds of like good benefits for like longevity. I'm not sure about mental longevity, but definitely physical longevity. More so than like almost anything else. Like cardio, I think burns calories into the level like if you're trying to cut calories that like that helps because you can eat more potentially. Except people tend to eat more when they work out because they overestimate. But I think strength training is supposed to be like the thing, like the ultimate thing that people are supposed to like definitely include in their workouts, which I don't, which I really should, but I don't.
I've heard something similar, but mostly like cardio is supposed to benefit your thought processing abilities as well. Like it will allow you to clear your head and reduce stress, and also, I mean, you're still working muscles by running. It's not like you're not lifting weights; you're lifting your whole body.
It's also good for your lungs and your heart. I do like the way my lungs feel, especially like the days of running, like when I have run. And you're right, because when I was running regularly, like I used to call it being a duck. I feel like I don't know if I ever told you that. Like nothing would bother me. Like you know how like water just like rolls off a duck's back.
Oh,
That's what I would feel like. I know, and I came up with that when I was like probably drunk on endorphins one day because that happened often back then. But I would just notice like a problem could come up, even like almost major problems, and it wouldn't faze me in anywhere close to the way it would. Like I'd be able to keep myself collected. Things would just like roll off my back. Nothing would bother me.
As a woman in her lower 30s,
Oh my god.
what is the youngest age guy that you would consider dating based on your current experience?
Man, I don't know. I'd probably be lowest age might be like upper or like mid 40s.
Oldest age. Okay, what about youngest?
Oh man, youngest isn't that far down.
29 and a half.
I mean, really? Because really, the fact that you're 29, like, you give me hope for 29-year-olds, but like, I also don't think most 29-year-olds are like you. Not even like you, just like mature and not like you don't feel younger than me. Like, for example, my roommate doesn't feel younger than me, but he's like a year younger than me. I think the younger, I wouldn't even be able to put an age. It would be like, but 29 or 28 would have to be it, really. But even then, it'd be like a case-by-case basis.
You kind of jumped to 40 really quick. Is that like an age that you are looking at?
Not at all. I feel like if you're like around my age or older, you're probably okay. Actually, I kind of like that if I were to get with somebody to be like in the 30s, because I feel like people are getting themselves together in their 30s and they're like more cool with themselves and other people. I like the idea of like a more mature person, but the idea of like the 40s is just like, I'm 31 now. Like I could like say like 5 years older than me. It would be like, and that really 5 years isn't that much when you're in your 30s anymore. So what's 40? You know, and then like really what's 45? But 50 is way too far. 45 probably be too far a little bit too. Like I would say like early 40s. But I wouldn't be like, ugh, God, you're disgusting and old. But if you act old, I'm not gonna like you. I've always been very personality first. I want them to have like some levels of experience. Maybe I'm not just talking about like you gotta be experienced and like the way you would normally think of it, but just like life experience, dealing with different people or like having seen or done things. I also don't want to make references and you not know what I'm talking about. I also don't like the idea of someone making references and I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I feel like you're jumping to minutia really fast. Like, what about just being able to handle problems in the relationship in a mature way? Like
just because they're older doesn't mean you know how to handle problems.
I feel like the chances are higher.
I don't know, maybe. I don't think I have a really high expectation for people to be able to handle personal problems. Because...
Is that because you can't handle them very well?
I don't know. Ooh. I spent a lot of time making sure I don't have to handle personal problems by not allowing an environment where they usually would develop. Sometimes I have a couple. Like clearly I can think of one right now. I think of a couple right now, but like none of them are ever like super major. I don't know. It's been a while since I've really had to handle a relationship problem.
Yeah.
Relationships aren't really something I often think about. I think about them less than you think I do. Just by the fact that you asked that question, like I'm not prepared for that. I had definitely not considered it.
I think you bring up being in or not being in a relationship, and like I understand, like there's plenty of excuses to bring context to whatever it is that you talk about.
I don't think. When was the last time I said that?
I feel like you bring it up at least once a week.
Oh, man.
It's like when you talk to your brother. Like, you're not trying to gloat over the fact that you don't have kids, but when you guys start having conversations, it quickly becomes apparent. Like, what you did or what you felt like doing or the kinds of thoughts that you have that you don't have kids. And it's not, it's just something that happens.
I know they told me before, like, sometimes, even when they were, like, before they had kids, they were like, it would be like to just do whatever you want whenever you can. And when they've had, like, problems with the baby, when it was, like, just, like, stressful, colic, different kinds of things, and, like, I'm at home just, like, chilling. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just hanging out. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to gloat, though. I never try to, like, I never am walking around and being like, well, it sucks you guys have kids. Like, I would never do that to them because I am, like, ultimately about supporting their life. So, and even though I don't have kids, like, I'm not, like, around them being like, I love being an ox. Like, go back to you. Like, mostly because I want to snuggle him and I don't want to give him back. But I don't know. I don't want them to think of me as someone who's, like, making their life seem, like, not worthwhile or, like, wrong for them having done this. And I want to be part of it and not to... I never want them to feel judged, ever. And actually, that's something I fostered heavily with Melissa when she was pregnant. And after she had the baby, like, I don't want her to feel bad about telling me if she is not enjoying a particular thing that's happening. Like, she doesn't have to enjoy it. You're allowed to say you don't enjoy it.
You're right. Like, motherhood's not pure bliss.
That's not how people approach pregnant women. And I knew that when she got pregnant. I was like, she is not going to... Something she's not going to like. And, like, I didn't want her to feel like she wasn't allowed to talk to anybody about it. Like, she could tell me she fucking hated it. And her kid is the demon spawn from hell, and she doesn't know if she'll ever love him. And I would still be like, oh, well... I mean, if she started, like, threatening the baby, that would be different. But, like, if she was saying she hated being pregnant and, like, she couldn't stand being a parent right now, like, in the beginning, I wouldn't have been like, ugh, what the hell? Like, I was more like, well, that's not to be unexpected. I would never expect you to enjoy everything and love it.
That's good. How old is the kid now?
7 months. And my mom is coming up this weekend, so I'm going to go up there. I can't wait. He's so cute. He has, like, teeth now, so I can't let him suck on my finger anymore because he's going to bite me. As much as, like, I'm not, like, I want to have my own kid, I really do love this kid, so I'm glad they had it. Him.
Glad they had
yeah,
the
I am,
kid.
because I am close with my brother, and thankfully I'm super close with my sister-in-law, too, so, like, it's refreshing to be alone with either one of them, because I get to be involved, which is fun, because he's cute, you know? Okay, anyway. That was probably not what we were meant to talk about.